All right.
I'm not ready.
Well, it doesn't matter if you're ready.
I'm not
back.
ready.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Dude, do you want to do this? Do you want to do the intro? Dace?
It was the smoothest intro we've ever had.
Welcome. So I'll say it again because I was rudely interrupted by a man who can't even keep from putting food in his mouth during the stream. It's not an ASMR stream, Dace. Welcome back, welcome back to Greenbox Gaming with me, Joe, the handler, and these miscreants who don't even trying to do a podcast.
We need to set up something on here where like you can send like gift on this Twitch and we give Madison a snack.
Oh my god!
Like with
you
you.
please?
like a little live fish. Can we feed him like a seal? Like a little anchovy?
It'd be like a little like I just imagine there's like a string that just like a clothesline, like a little sardine just like squeaks across the screen.
Or it's like, you know, I've seen some people, I don't know if I've seen this, maybe I heard someone talk about this where like this guy has like a Twitch and he like has a gun, like a Nerf gun that's shot, but you know, when you pay so much then you have a little icon going around, you can mark where you want the gun to shoot on the screen. So it'd be like that but with sardines.
Okay,
I like it.
but hear me out. Real gun.
Wow. Well,
listen, it hasn't been done. So
sardines and firearms. That's all this podcast is missing, baby. We'll be cooking with gas.
We're gonna go right to the top. Oh man. So
Oh god.
So my name is Joe. I'm gonna be the handler. I am joined by my good friends. I'm trying to get it back. I am joined by my friends Brad playing Hank Ellis, U.S. Marshal, by Jean playing Benedict, journalist, and kind of, I don't know, you kind of put on this kind of this new identity for Benedict that he acted wealthy last semester. He acted affluent, but now like there's this idea that he actually has some money, so he's really taking it to the next level.
Did you realize that you just said semester?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh god.
You've gone too deep into the grad school.
Life is blurring.
Yeah. And then of course Dace playing Benji, who is our historian who is starting to lose his marbles probably faster than everybody else.
Howdy.
just because he reads every cosmic book he can find.
He's addicted. It's like girls in Cosmo. He just can't stay away.
Is that? I think
We're gonna
that's
get you some horse blinkers.
That's
I hear you also go
in
insane if you read Cosmo as well. So
they're basically eldritch.
Have you guys ever read the sex tips in Cosmo? One of my ex-girlfriends was like really big into Cosmo, and it's just hilarious. Like it's just like shit. Like just slap his dick. Just give it a good slap.
in
And
Cosmo,
go crazy over that.
So what you're saying is that that you don't put a lot of stock in those tips. Is what you're saying.
Well, I think maybe at one point it was legitimate, but then now they're just scraping the bottom of the barrel because they've been doing this for decades, and that's how you wind up with dicks getting slapped.
That's how you end up with it. Yeah.
I was wondering why
That's
that kept
my theory.
happening to me.
I was wondering what my girlfriend was doing. Well, it's like you like come home, you see a Cosmo on the counter, and you just hear, "I'm in the bathroom." You're like, "Oh no,
Not again.
oh no."
Takes an aspirin.
All right. Do you guys want to get straight back into? I say straight back into as we've been digging around. Do you guys want to get back into Impossible Landscapes?
I'll tell you what I'd love, Joe. I'd love a recap.
Well, it's your lucky day, Dace. Because I've got a recap. Good golly.
Golly.
I've got a recap. Just raring to go. So,
Well, let her rip.
let it rip. Last time, the last few episodes, Our guys, our team, M-Cell, they are in 2015 as opposed to last season when they were in 1995. They have been summoned by some pretty strange means to a briefing with a strange briefing officer, where they were informed that they were being assigned to investigate the disappearance of some former Delta Green operatives who had been housed at a psychiatric facility. This doesn't probably really surprise many of you. You know the kind of work that you do. You're not surprised that people go to the hospital every now and then. That 3 former agents have disappeared in a Boston psychiatric facility called the Dorchester House. And last episode, you fellas had gone to the Dorchester and met with some of the different staff there. You had met with, some of the orderlies, with the head nurse, Esther Stamahina, and with the head of the facility, whose name I suddenly cannot remember.
Richard.
Dallin. Dr. Dallin. He had informed you that, and you guys had been informed previously that Dr. Dallin is a Delta Green friendly, not an agent, but a friendly. And that the Dorchester House has served Delta Green for a long time. You get in there, you talk to him, he gives you some info. You guys begin doing some searching. You guys make to the 3rd floor where the patients went missing from. And specifically, I know that you guys wanted to investigate the room where this strange poem was written. Abigail Wright has gone to sea, cross the waves to rescue me. In a ship both tall and fine, she rounds the corner marking time. And this was obviously a bit of a blast for you guys to see the name Abigail Wright again after 20 years. But when you guys began investigating, things were not going well. First, you look through the patient files and you can see that these people are all very troubled. But when you actually got to the rooms, I know there were 2 things. Well, really, there were 3 big things. One, you determined that the room with the restraints where these patients were supposedly kept in seclusion and under physical restraint, that these restraints had never been used, which seemed odd for patients who are supposedly strapped to their beds for the majority of the day and night. You discovered that the strange, kind of collage of newspaper clippings, didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason, and it seemed staged. Like, this whole thing seemed staged, which kind of set off alarm bells. The third important thing is that Benji rolled a critical failure at assessing whether the finger paints on the walls were of value, and now is in possession of what he believes to be a priceless art artifact.
Forgot about that.
That's not the only critical fails he rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that's where you're going with
that. You guys
a 77 and a 100.
Right. You guys then went to go see the security footage, and lo and behold, there's about 2 hours of security footage that's just and the security footage for the whole facility, the cameras are just frozen. During this encounter, Benji again rolled another critical failure to attempt to pickpocket the staff access badge for one of the staff. Not only did you guys fail that, but then you failed your damage control roll, and you guys were all escorted off the 3rd floor back down to Dr. Dallin's office. Dr. Dallin was surprised to hear that you had discovered some evidence of tampering amongst his staff. He seemed to be genuinely concerned, and one of the things that he had actually said to you was that the recording system, the security system, was not that old. It's odd that it would have failed, but the big thing he said that I think was most interesting was that entire system was pretty much built by the technician, by the orderly that you guys were talking to. He is worried that there is a cover-up within his facility, and I believe it expressed to you guys that he wanted you to kind of look into his staff. He wants to find these people, and as far as you can tell, I mean, he wants to serve the organization. The last thing that you guys probably picked up on was, I think it was Benji. He noticed that there's something about Dr. Dallin. He seems off. Seems off in a way that doesn't really make sense. It kind of raises the hairs on his back of his neck, and I told you that it kind of reminded you of the way that you remember actually old Robert Caroon interacting with you guys back in 1995 in that McAllister building. And that is where we left it. So I'm going to go ahead and say that you fellas have been taken back. Dr. Dallin has. You guys have been taken back to that file room where you were kind of, you have some privacy. And Dr. Dallin is in his office making phone calls and things like that. And let you guys figure out kind of where you want to go from here.
Well, that kind of changes a lot. That last bit that Benji, I'm guessing Benji tells everybody that the way Dr. Dallin's acting reminds him of everyone that was in that apartment that had the sort of spell on him.
Yeah, are we still in the room with Dr. Dallin, or where are we exactly?
No, you are. You've, like I said, you were back in the file room. You have some privacy. You have the capacity
that I organized for everybody.
Kind of talked alone to each other. Yeah.
And
Benji would definitely share that with everybody.
So like as soon as you say that, Hank will basically say like, I think that this sets off a spark that, well, that's interesting to hear you say that because, you know who else was acting sort of strange?
Who's that?
Our handler for this particular mission.
You think he's got some sort of hold on him?
I don't know. What was his name, Joe? Fucking
Agent Exeter.
He was acting strange, and I think we shouldn't forget that our invitation had a hidden demonic mark on it.
I had forgotten about that.
I don't know where to start. If we can't trust our friendly, I don't even know. What are we doing?
Yeah. Well, you were also given you remember that he gave you that big old school satellite phone, as a method to communicate with him. But yeah, I mean, it raises some interesting questions. Who can you even trust?
Well, have you seen his email address? I don't trust that man's email address. Or at sdhpf.com. Are you insane?
What?
Where's all this coming from?
Where's this coming from?
It's on his business card. Have you not seen he whips out a business card? Look, it's right here.
You're talking about Dr. Dallin.
Yeah, Dr. Dallin. I don't trust that fucker.
Okay.
And, it's but I think something we have to keep in mind is that we discover this thing Diffner Foundation and maybe SDHPF might have something to do with that.
Look, Benedict, we can't go around judging everybody based purely on their email addresses. It's just not a sound basis. You're judging someone's worth. For instance, somebody who might be Dragon Queen Booty at hotmail.com, and that's not indicative of how they are as a person. Just saying.
That's a very specific example.
Oddly specific. I'm gonna reach out to that person after this.
Did you just dox yourself?
Who, me?
Or me.
It was that day, Sir Benji. Wait, what was that again? Dragon Queen Booty? Okay, sorry.
Wow.
So we do have a lot of We've got a lot of leads to go on, I think, at this point. And
basically what I'm saying is
we no longer have access to the facility, right? Because now we're no longer friendly with the actual staff themselves.
Well, you get the impression that you might have to give it a day or two to cool down before you're allowed back on the unit.
That's a few Ds.
Okay.
But Dr. Downs said he still wants to get to the bottom of it. Like he's still gonna let us have access to the facility.
He sounds like his primary concern, if you guys are expressing that there's a cover up, is the idea that there is it's the idea that someone is doing something that he wants you to investigate his staff.
Yeah.
Well,
all I'm saying, I'm not even sure that like Delta Green has us on this mission anymore.
You think we're like renegades?
I think our handler has the same, like, whatever it is, a spell on him that Dr. Down has, and who else is, privy to the whatever the night floors are called in this spot.
What makes you think that?
Because we got the same exact vibe from our handler without rolling a success on whatever to get as specific as he reminds you of the guy from.
Do you think that's actually linked, or is that just an example of Joe's poor lack of vocabulary?
No, I think it's
poor. It's poor, guys.
And on top of that, the fucking invitation had a demonic symbol. That's not something Delta Green would do. Have a hidden layer under the invitation with the demonic symbol on it.
Yeah. What does that tell us? What kind of organization do you think it is?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't think Delta Green has us on this mission anymore.
Are we the baddies?
I think we have to find somebody to trust, and right now the only people I trust are the people that we met 20 years ago in the night floors. I want to go. I think we should go. And
I think they're all
try and get hold of Ed and Thomas.
Yeah. Well, we have to get back in the night floors.
Did you guys shove all of them into the night floors and then burn down their building?
Yeah, how are we going to go back?
No, I'm sure they're not going to be here. I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. That skipped my memory. No, that didn't happen.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, might have blocked that out too. God, I need to go to therapy.
Did we get hold of the access pass? Even though it was a failure?
No.
The guy did not.
No, it was a critical. It was a critical failure, John. No.
I was just looking back at my
all of his body.
Yeah.
And picked it
looking
up.
back at my rolls so I could go back and check my blue boxes. And man, Benji's character sheet is just like half blue at this point. But it was a failure and then 2 critical fumbles.
You rolled a 48, then a 44 on stealth, and then a 100 on persuade.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I might have dropped the ball on that one.
Oh, most certainly.
All right, but so you're saying we're gonna have to wait a couple days before we go back to investigate into the facility?
You think that getting in the facility and getting back upstairs, that you're gonna that they're gonna need some days, a little bit of time to cool off, you'd say.
So, what do you...
Arby's?
Sure, let's try. We might as well meet up there, get some lunch
with you guys and Arby's.
Something about fast food.
Okay.
Roast beef sandwich.
Something about that roast beef, I'll tell you what.
Something about it, man.
All right.
I don't know. Do y'all have anything in mind you would want to do?
I think Benedict is going to act as if he's paranoid. So Benedict feels like he's under pressure and that he can't trust anybody. So I think he's going to be acting a little bit erratically and with a bit more impetus. Beyond that, I can't say.
I'll tell you what Dace wants to do. Dace wants to break into the facility and investigate it at night.
Yeah.
That is an option. And I think Hank would be more willing to do that because since he expressed that he doesn't even think we're working for Delta Green anymore.
Yeah, Benji would be like, takes a pint of whiskey out of his jacket and just takes a long pull and is like,
what the hell are we even doing? We gotta get to the bottom of this. Ready to action. Less roast beef and more action. I gotta get gotta get to that facility at night. You guys know the drill. The night floor is only accessible at night.
We're here now. We're here now. We can. Why don't we just pop on over upstairs? Give me. Just put that down, man. Put that drink down. Where's your olive juice?
you obviously need your olive juice.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, how do you fellas feel about probing Exeter a little bit?
How do we go about doing that?
We have the big ass satellite phone.
Oh, actually asking him for something.
Possibly. I mean, he is supposed to help us out.
Let's do it.
okay.
Hands him the phone. You gotta dial 616.
Is that really what we... Well, who wants to talk to him?
That was actually a thing.
That's all you.
Not it.
So Benji touches his nose.
Yeah.
Benedict sits down with Benji and starts drinking.
Where are you guys drinking at?
In the little filing room.
Did you guys just bring just liquor with you, I guess?
Yeah, Benji's got a problem now.
That's right.
All right. I mean, do we have something we want to ask him for? I mean, what could we say to actually probe him to see if he's under the spell or / get some valuable equipment or something else to help us with the investigation?
I'm drawing a complete blank. I don't know.
All right, winging it is. I dial.
you got it, guys.
All right, I ring him up.
All right, you ask him about.
Tell him I said hi.
Background checks. Do not tell him I said hi. Fuck that guy.
Background checks in the sense of what?
We need to find who Michael's side. Who's Michael's working for?
Wait, remind me. Do we hate this guy too? Do we hate all of our handlers? Okay, I got you.
You guys do have a tendency to really, really dislike your handlers.
I do like the other one better. I'm not beyond trying to contact him in some way.
How would you possibly contact him?
I don't know. Just an idea.
Ask him for a background check on himself.
Ooh.
That's 4D chess.
Yeah, they'll never see it coming. It's like, that's okay. All right, I'll get you the information. Wait a second. Wait a second. This is me.
Oh, well played.
Yeah, game respects game, though. You know, he'd probably just give it to you. All right, what are you guys doing?
Let's call him up.
All right. The satellite phone is this big blocky thing. Actually, let me move over to the gameplay screen.
Yeah.
So our viewers can be reminded of it. It's this great big blocky like old school 90s satellite phone. I mean, it would have absolutely been the pinnacle of communication technology at some juncture. It's certainly not anymore. You pick it up and it has the big battery pack on the back, and it, and there's like a little door at the back of it that has literally like a plug that you plug into an outlet to charge the internal battery. you hit the buttons star 616, which is what you were instructed, and as you do, you hear not a dial tone, but like a doo doo doo, and then just silence for probably 15-20 seconds. Hank is probably about ready to try it again when you hear the sound of it sounds like someone like picking up and handling a phone or something. You're like, hello.
Is this Exeter?
No. What do you need?
I'm trying to get in contact with Agent Exeter. This is M-Cell.
I can, Exeter we can have him contact you if you need. Make this quick.
We've run into some trouble and we might
hold
need some...
Hold on. And you hear like the sound of like the hand being put over the mic and just, talking off mic. Just, I'm trying. Yeah, ham and cheese. Go ahead.
Well, you sound awful busy. I guess I'll make this quick. Wouldn't want to interrupt a ham and cheese sandwich.
Want mustard? Hold on. Okay.
What's happening?
No, it's nothing.
Go ahead. All right. To make it quick, we need janitor IDs and uniforms for a facility we are trying to investigate.
Nice. There it is.
And disguises, mustaches.
Name of the facility?
The facility's name is Dorchester House. Psychiatric facility.
Okay. Your handler will reach out to you. Anything else?
He puts a hand over the phone. You guys need anything else?
Could we get them to cut the power at a certain time?
Ooh.
I'm gonna hand you to one of my associates.
I don't have time for this. For Operation India Moon, have you figured out anything? Have you discovered anything interesting? I need a sit rep.
Well, excuse me, sir, but we only communicate with.
No.
Fucking guy.
Do they have Sprite? Well, I don't like Sierra Mist. Yeah, Sierra Mist is fine. Sorry, hurry up. Be quick.
Just tell Exeter to call us back if you need a sip rep. Thank you.
Have you determined any evidence of foul play?
Hang up on a power move.
Are we gonna get those janitor uniforms?
It'll be run through your handler. Have you discovered any evidence of foul play?
Hang up. Hang up.
I can't hear you. Bleep. Beep.
Close call.
Well, that did. He says, "Well, fellas, that did seem very Delta Greenish." So, I mean, that would be what I would expect.
The door opens, and you see one of the nurses come in. She's like, "Did someone order a Sierra Mist? Was that I'm kidding.
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Okay. Don't fuck
He's
with
in the
us, Joe.
facility.
We're really on the edge.
Everyone made a face. For those of you listening in, like everyone made this kind of shocked face for a second, like, oh shit.
We are Agent Exeter. We're all his multiple personalities.
We're aspects of Exeter.
Yeah. By the way, that did not seem, and I'm
That's
sure
what I was about
it's
to say.
clear, but that was not Exeter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gathered that, but I also gathered that seemed like a very, what I would expect calling like a Delta Green line.
Or it got intercepted.
You hear
what
from
I'm
the boat.
saying,
It wasn't intercepted.
That's a good question, Joe. How does that stack up to like our experience with the agency in the past. Like, that was really unprofessional. Like, as
I was about to say,
God forbid, because you guys are the epitome of professionalism.
Yeah, but we're the PCs. We can be stupid.
But we have a license. We have a license to be silly and to be
a license for stupidity.
Yeah. You guys, I would say that. So you guys each had your own individual experience that had gotten you into Delta Green, and then your first mission was last. I was about to say semester again. Was last season. In 1995. The Night Floors. I mean, that was your Operation Alice. Was your first mission. You really don't know how a lot of this kind of cloak and dagger kind of stuff works. Did it seem unprofessional? Yes. But at the same time, you really don't know what to expect. It seems as legitimate as anything else you've done with the organization.
Yeah, that was kind of my vibe too. But what confused...
we know the code name before that call? Had we heard of India Moon?
Yes, India Moon. You were told at your briefing that this operation was Operation India Moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just wondering who the hell that guy was. Like, how does he have so much? Even the fact that he knows the name Operation India Moon.
Well, if this is what's confusing me is like, okay, my initial theory before this was Exeter might be like under some kind of spell, just like Dr. Dallin, blah blah. But if that was the case, I would imagine this goes straight to Agent Exeter, but it's actually seems to be going through Delta Green channels, and he's Exeter talking to someone higher up too. Someone's communicating orders to him, so that would make sense. That I would think that maybe we wouldn't be routed directly.
What you guys do know as characters about the cell structure of Delta Green is that you guys are an M cell. Traditionally, you have a handler who then coordinates with another cell that you believe to be called A cell, which is as far as you can tell, the leadership cell of Delta Green. So that your handlers receive missions from the higher up cells.
Yeah.
That's such a fascinating thought. Like, who is A cell? Who are they? What do they look like? What are they like?
Well, you think about it in this era. This is 2015. The global war on terror has been going on. Like, you guys have heard about, that terrorist organizations and criminal organizations also utilize these cell structures where the people at the bottom, they don't know where they're getting information from. They don't know where their orders from. They don't know who the bosses are. If one cell gets cut off, it doesn't matter because they don't actually know anything. They don't actually, it's this decentralized structure that's developed for security, which is, as far as you know, a part of Delta Green's whole shtick.
But A cell, it's not decentralized because A cell is the central authority. Like, they're the ones who do know everything, right?
Yeah, but they're not going out in the.
As far as you,
they're not going out in the field like we're going out in the field. So, if we get caught, we don't know who. We know a handler. That's all we know.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just found myself wondering, who are these humans? They have to be crazy or just super sane to be dealing with this stuff they did.
Or super sane.
Yeah.
Super sane. Wow.
Super high sanity. That's just a tangent. Anyway.
Well,
that's
all Hank wanted to do, kind of. But
why don't we phone him back? If we get the same guy, it gives us information about what's happening.
Ooh, I like this. That means he's the call screener.
Yeah. Benedict what are we is now interested in investigating our handler structure.
What are we gonna do if he asks if it's been compromised?
We also tell him that we forgot to ask him for surveillance for people entering and exiting the grounds between the time of 6 p.m. onwards on the 28th.
Hey, where were you going with that power shut-off thing? That was kind of cool.
You know what? Benji, when you reach my age, sometimes these ideas, they just flow to you. They just flow. They just come out. You just don't know where they come from.
All right. Hank hands the phone to Benedict.
Oh, am I? Okay, yes. He just punches in *616 and waits.
Okay, you again. Do. And this time
right,
it
Hank,
takes.
You need to tell me if it's the same person. You
it
idiot,
takes
take
easily a minute before the phone is picked up. Hello. Hello.
Hank.
Hello. I don't have time for this. You hear the sound of what sounds like the paper of a sandwich being unwrapped.
Okay.
Oh, and the sound of a can being opened. You hear someone mumble, "Fucking Sierra Mist. It's not even Sprite. It's not even the same thing."
This is Agent Molasses. Sorry we got cut off earlier. Damn, old satellite phones and whatnot. But we have one more request, possibly.
Okay.
What do we want? Hold on one second. What do we want?
Give me that. Oh, yes. Benedict here, yes. Hello. We will need some footage. Do you have any cameras or any camera footage around the Dorchester facility for us to see who came in and out around the 28th? Specifically around the time periods before 6 p.m. In fact, the whole day of the 28th. Just give us all the footage.
Okay. He'll tell you that he is like, I'll see what I'll do. I'll pass it through. I'll pass it through Exeter. Have you found any evidence of foul play?
No, I don't know. You just cuts the line.
No. Oh my god.
But there's a. Sorry.
All right. Do we have a home base we want to wait at?
Don't you guys have a room at the Ritz-Carlton?
Oh yeah, we have that.
Right.
Do y'all want to head back there and just chill and wait for Exeter to contact us?
Yeah, I don't know if we can do anything right now in the facility.
Yeah.
But I think I am for sneaking in without Dr. Downs' approval.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. What time of day is it?
Well, I mean, I want to wait for our disguises and whatever Exeter has to give us,
Well, I was just thinking about, while we're already in the facility, what if we if we're allowed to roam around it, what if we sort of case it from the inside for possible entry points?
Yeah.
Like maybe there's windows in the basement. Like, just vulnerabilities in the security.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something we could do?
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking about us going in disguises to this facility that's run by like 15 people.
And you all come in and you're wearing mustaches.
Like... Welcome.
All right, so you want to see if we can walk around and look around some more?
Yeah. We have the rare opportunity to case the joint from the inside.
What have we seen? And okay, is Miss Esther gonna let us walk around / Dr. Dallin some more today?
No, if you ask, I mean, if you ask any of the staff, or especially if you ask Dr. Dallin or Sam Hinga, they tell you that, it's getting pretty late and that, they kind of need to, they've got their night shift coming on. They really don't have enough people to kind of manage you while they're trying to do shift change.
What time is shift change?
It's in the evening. I don't know. It's in the late afternoon.
I don't think we're
By the way, do you guys hear any background music, or is it totally dead?
It's off. It's not in the channel.
Fantastic.
Yeah, having some technical issues there.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of technical issues, but it's okay. All right, so as you guys go to leave, because I know you guys are... What is it? Don't you guys have a you guys have like a car or something, right? Like a rental car.
Yeah,
I assume you do. I mean, you must. You guys are driving, and who would be driving? Do you think?
Always Hank.
Always Hank. All right, Hank. You're as you're driving, you're driving, and it's it's starting to get kind of dark, and you see cars going by, and as you do, imagine from the cinematic view, like we just see Hank's eyes, kind of like a close up on his eyes as as you see the headlights flash from the oncoming traffic. Maybe Benji and Benedict are kind of talking back and forth about something, or about their favorite sauce at Arby's, or whatever the hell they're interested in. And but that kind of muffles out as we see Hank, and we see a quick shot of an oncoming car, and Hank kind of makes this weird kind of almost eye contact with the driver, and it's this old Plymouth Fury, and this driver is this kind of youngish guy, and Hank kind of makes his eye contact with him as he goes by, and he just kind of he sees the car, and we zoom in again up on Hank's eyes as the wrinkles disappear, and we zoom back out, and we see a much, much younger version of Hank Ellis. And he is inside a Plymouth Fury, with wearing his U.S. Marshals uniform. He's 25 years old. The year is 1975, and block
it's a flashback
across the bottom of it. Thank you.
It's a flashback.
It's a flashback.
It's a flashback. You see 1975 across the bottom of the screen, and it's Hank, and he is driving through what looks like open desert. Like scrubs on both sides, or scrubby bushes on both sides of the road, and really not a lot going on. And just kind of the only really sound is the sound of the radio and of the telephone poles that whip by every now and then. In the back seat is none other than Jerry Durant McCarthy, also known as the Chopper.
Oh. The Chopper.
The Chopper. You are Hank. You're pretty new U.S. Marshal. I mean, decently new. You're less than 5 years in at this point, and you have been assigned a job to transport a prisoner. You found yourself in Nevada, and you're supposed to be transporting this prisoner to California.
Okay.
And I imagine probably the big things that's probably on Hank's mind is how much he can't wait to get back home to his blushing new bride, who's freshly pregnant. And he just wants to get home, but you kind of look in the rearview mirror, and you see Jerry the Chopper McCarthy kind of sitting in the back seat. He's got his hands cuffed. He's got handcuffs and leg irons, and he's just kind of staring out the window and mumbling to himself with exactly what he's been doing for the last 3 fucking hours. The only change was the 3 hours before that, he was on the other side of the car.
So I imagine Hank's not, I'm sure he's done this a couple times in the past 5 years, transport prisoners.
Whoops, there it is.
So he kind of thinks nothing of it, I guess, and looks back there and just crazy old fool, and then just keeps eyes steady. How much longer does he have till he gets his destination?
Well, see, therein lies the problem. Hank, you take a gander down at the old fuel gauge, and you're starting to think that maybe you should have filled up a little earlier, because you're looking down and you're starting to get close to that E, and you know that if a gas station doesn't come up soon, you might be in a little bit of trouble. And you can't imagine, while this guy, you were told that he's it's unusual for them to send a single marshal in a single car with a guy. They just didn't have anyone else. And it's incredibly important because 2 days from now, he's supposed to be seen in front of a federal judge in California where he's being extradited to. So there was just no time and no resources. The marshal's office is very small in 1975.
Mm.
But yeah, it's still at least a solid probably 20 hours of driving.
Shit. So I guess he's looking for a gas station or anything to fill up.
Yeah.
Convenience store.
Off in the distance, you do see some lights on the side of the road. And as you kind of breathe a sigh of relief, as your stomach rumbles and as you feel, yourself getting a little tired.
Mm-hmm.
And Hank rolls into a little pit stop, just in the middle of absolute nowhere. It's like 2 street lights lit up with a single pump, and there's light coming from the inside of the building.
He pulls over, I guess parks by the pump.
Yeah. And like I said, you're in this old Plymouth, and it's got like U.S. Marshal on the side of it.
Is old Chopper still just talking to himself?
He's just kind of mumbling to himself, and you think about the things that you've heard about this guy. I mean, he was apparently he was taken care of by his mother. He's supposed to be like very mentally unwell. Not that in 1975, that was, on people's minds, but that he brutally murdered 8 people before being basically taken down at gunpoint by police officers. The entire time you've been driving with him that you can't turn on the radio, basically, because almost every time you turn on the radio, he just loses his mind. He says he's got radios in his head, and he just cannot stand the sound of music.
I'm gonna stop for a minute. You need to use the restroom. Want a hoagie or something?
He's just mumbling to himself and looking out the window toward the gas station.
I'll take that as a no. And gets out of the car. I guess just goes in to try to pay for some gas.
Yeah, you get inside, and there's like a little bell, ding ding. It's a very small little place. There's like a few coolers with some food and some snacks, and that kind of thing, like a hot box little thing, just out here in the middle of nowhere. It's surprisingly bright and kind of clean, though there's food and foodstuffs just stacked up to the ceiling.
Are there hot dogs in one of those heater things that spins around?
Yeah, like the rollers. Yeah. Yeah, you go over to get one, and you hear from behind the counter, "I wouldn't take one of those. They are very old. I put the fresh one on for you."
Oh, thank you. 2, please. You got a long drive.
One for you, one for your friend.
Well, 2 for me, none for him. I'm gonna fill up this tank as well. How much do I owe
you? Just give me a reasonable amount of money for 1975. Because
strange way to put it.
2 nickels and some lint.
Okay,
here you go.
Sounds good. And it's like, and I don't know, like I imagine that like Hank, that you're just like you're hungry, and there's like you want some coffee and and you barely even look at the guy, and the only thing you really notice about him. You barely even look at his face, and the only thing you notice about him is that he's like a really tall black guy. And you hand over the money, and you go to leave, and you hear, "Be safe out there."
Wait a second.
Better listen to some music.
Oh no!
But it's too late. You're already gone. You're already back outside.
Oh my god.
That was that.
Well, I mean, obviously Hank would think nothing of it then.
At that time you're just like, you've got shit to do.
Was his name Bob?
Robert.
Yeah, it was Robert.
Oh man.
Yeah, he said Hank's like, yeah, thank you. I imagine Hank just like is kind of doesn't really want to get back in the van, so he's like sits there for a second, just looking at the van, has a couple sips and a couple bites, or at least one of his hot dogs.
It's a car.
Sorry, car.
It's a pretty sweet looking car too. I looked up.
Old Plymouth Furies. Well, they're like they're like that really cliched, typical like 70s cop car.
Really? Okay.
Drive the hell out of that.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Dope.
But yeah.
Well, he'll have one hot dog and then a couple sips of coffee and get back in the car.
Yeah. As you go, it's like it doesn't seem to matter how much of that coffee you drink. After a while, you're driving, and then you're woken up by the sound of like the car starting to go off the side of the road, like that. As you're going off the dirt, and it's no problem. Hank brings it back on into the center pretty quick.
Okay, he straightens his mirror and looks back at the convict.
Yeah, like you like wipe the sleep. You realize that you have no idea how long you were asleep, but on this long straight stretch of road, you look back, and Chopper is looking right at the rearview mirror. He's looking you dead in the eyes. No, like I really imagine like the rearview mirror's askew, and Hank reaches up and turns it, and just bam, Chopper's eyes.
Creepy.
Okay, Hank just like kind of like keeps driving, I guess.
And you hear, and like after a while, and like there's a point where you feel something, and it feels like Chopper's breath on the back of your mouth, or the back of your mouth. Jesus.
He's really close now. We start making out.
Oh, weird, real.
Yeah. So we kiss, I guess.
It's that kind of video.
You feel like the warmth on the back of your neck, and you realize that he's leaned all the way up, like at the back of your seat, and he's like mumbling under his breath.
Hey, sit on back now. I don't want to smell your nasty breath.
It's and as you like, and right, the last thing that you remember hearing is him saying, he's whispering in the back of your ear. You hear, it feels hot breath. You hear, "Cross the sea to rescue me. Cross the sea to rescue me." And about that time, you look up and you see a dog, a huge, mangy dog crossing the road, and Hank hits the wheel and swerves to the right, off the road, and blacks out. You wake up the next day, the sunlight hitting your face, except there is no evidence of a car accident. You look up, the sun is hitting Hank's eyes, and he squints his eyes, looks up, he's laying completely butt-ass naked on a sand dune, probably about, 100 meters from the road. You see your car sitting on the side of the road, not wrecked, nothing, just parked there, but all four doors wide open. You lean up, and you instinctually reach down for your gun belt, and that's when you realize you're naked. And you look to your right, you don't see anything. You look to your left, and you see Chopper. Except he's completely laid open, all the way from his neck down to his groin. Just
damn,
wide open. And as far as you can tell, everything inside him is gone, and his head is leaned over towards you with this wide-eyed smile on his face.
Oh, shit.
What? And about that time, as Hank, you're looking up, you look into the sun again as you go to stand, and there's that flash of the sunlight, then transition back to Hank's old eyes. His eyes, the wrinkled face in 2015, as another set of headlights goes by.
Well done, Joe.
kind of brought back to the present.
It's creepy as hell. Just the image of him splayed open, like smiling, like. And just think about the sunburn. It's got to be horrendous.
I don't think he was laying there very long. It was the very beginning of the day in my conceptualization of it.
It doesn't take long for some of us to burn, Joe.
That's true. Hey, I know too. I get it. I'm right there.
Well, Hank having this little reminder or memory pop up again, I guess, just like he wants to reach the Ritz-Carlton as quick as possible, so he pedals to the metal there to get off the road.
Yeah.
Does Hank recognize anything about what he said? About gone to sea, cross the waves to rescue me?
And like now that you've kind of had this moment of reflection, you kind of remember, you're like, this is, it just feels like it's all connected. It feels like you have this weird feeling, and like you kind of look in your rearview mirror, much like you looked in your rearview mirror 40 years ago. And I imagine Benedict's probably sitting in the back, like he's being chauffeured around. And that Benji's probably sitting in the passenger seat, and, probably messing on his phone or something. And you look back at these two, and it's just like, it just feels like everything is connected. And like you even wonder how much you're connected to these two at this point. And it's just, you kind of have this weird kind of existential kind of experience of like what is, like, how much are we all connected? What is going on here? You get this really weird feeling just like in your body at this realization.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Hank would bring up this memory to everyone in the car ride at this moment, but
so let me tell you guys about a car ride I had.
All this insanity and mayhem reminds me of what happened to me a while back.
You guys ever heard of Jerry the Chopper Durant McCarthy?
We tell you a tale.
Bennick's like, Noah, he's me.
Ah. Right.
Okay.
We
go into the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, you guys make it to the Ritz-Carlton. And you guys all are, you guys all take a shower and you're in your big white puffy robes and stuff. And eventually you all go to sleep. And I don't know, did we establish that you guys are all sharing one suite? Or, I don't know, we'll say for simplicity's sake, you guys are all sharing one suite. Imagine Benedict has the bed. Benji's probably the little spoon. And Hank's probably the ladle.
There's 3 grown men cuddling. Yeah, that's totally normal.
All right.
That's a completely logical thing to assume that we would do. Just pile up in bed, nut to butt.
You guys have been through a lot together, what's so weird about
feel
that?
Comfortable.
Yeah. It just makes you feel safe sometimes,
Nobody holds me like you do, Hank. You're such a comforting presence. You're like a big brick wall if walls were squishy.
That is a thing to say, yes. All right. You guys, I imagine Benedict's, in the bed, like the other two of you are probably like on the couch and, or wherever. You guys, like really early in the morning, the sun has just barely started to come up around 5 o'clock in the morning. There is the phone rings, and Benedict, it's right next to you as you're on the bed.
Yeah, he rolls over and he picks it up. Hello.
Good morning, sir. This is your wake-up call.
Oh, I didn't ask for a wake-up call.
Oh, I apologize, Mr. Marbus. I must have written that down wrong. Do you want me to cancel your breakfast order as well?
No, I want breakfast. Breakfast is good, yes. Bring breakfast. That's fine. Who is this?
This is the front desk, sir. My name is No, sir. We just have the only thing I have for you is the wake up call and your breakfast order.
Okay, bring those little bottles of olive juice, please, with breakfast. Thank you. Which hangs up.
Okay. After a while, or like in just a little bit, or you could probably have just enough time to kind of get up and maybe get some pants on, or not that you were sleeping pantsless, I guess. I don't know. That's how you guys do. But
let's just leave that to mystery.
You guys, there's a knock at the door, and a gentleman comes in pushing a cart with 3 people's worth of breakfast, and in the middle of everything, of all the food, is a little folded piece of paper that has like the Ritz-Carlton like logo on it. Whoever goes over there and plucks it up, you see an address, and you see the words, and you see 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. written on it.
Okay.
Where's the address? How far away is it?
If you Google it, it is the nearest Arby's.
We want them over, boys. We did it.
Hot damn. Double breakfast.
It's like
oh my god. Imagine having like a 5-star hotel breakfast delivered to you and then going and having an Arby's sandwich directly after.
Yeah, basically dessert.
Oh jeez.
I see what you're doing, Box. I see what you're doing. It's like when you drive in ice and you have to steer into the curve. The only way you can get us to stop doing the Arby's thing is to get in on it.
To get on board.
Smart.
Like when parents use memes.
Yeah.
Make their children stop.
I imagine Hank just eats the breakfast and then is ready to go whenever y'all are.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
we forgot the goddamn olive juice. Benedict is happy today.
We'll have to say something when we go downstairs. This is unacceptable for a Ritz-Carlton.
Because
I'm
sure Frank has a lot of experience with a Ritz-Carlton. All right, you guys make it downstairs. You hop in the rental car and you head to this Arby's. When you get there, like when you pull up, you see a familiar looking car, whose make and model I had said previously, and now I cannot remember it, but I remember it was an SUV. You see a familiar looking SUV that you had tagged last time as being the vehicle that Agent Exeter had left in. It is parked, like as you guys are looking for parking, you see it parked in one of these, like pay by the hour parking lots. And you can park there and head to the Arby's.
all right, let's do it.
As you approach, you see... What was that?
I said, yep.
Okay. As you approach, you see through the glass windows, you see Agent Exeter sitting there with a extra large roast beef sandwich. But he's not eating it. It's just sitting in front of him. And he looks to be writing on a piece of paper.
Okay, let's walk up to him.
Yeah, everyone roll me a quick, probably... God.
Hey, can we update our check boxes too?
Oh, you can. Slept? Yes, you guys have slept overnight. So go ahead and click your buttons to roll all your skill increases for the end of the day.
Nice.
Oh, dart.
Everyone roll, I would say probably... God, I don't know. Probably roll like an alertness.
Hank.
Benedict fails.
And a success for Benji, 727.
Benedict, you're so overwhelmed with the stench of cheese and cheap roast beef that you're just overwhelmed when you walk in.
What is this place?
And not only the smell of the food, but the smell of the people. It's like you can smell it, just them sweating it out as they're eating. So much meat.
So much beef.
So much
beef.
But the other two of you, as you come in, or as you see Exeter sitting at a booth in the corner, he's wearing the same clothes that you guys saw him in. And you two, having been previously inoculated to Arby's, as you go in, that you're able to make out that the smell of BO and unwashedness is not just from the other people in the Arby's, but especially from... I don't have anything against Arby's, by the way.
Typical Arby's customer, BO, sweating out,
unwashed,
chopping on beef. Scum of the earth, if you will.
I didn't say it. You see that, or like as the two of you kind of get close and you go over there and sit down, he reeks. I mean, it smells like he was kind of smelly before, and as you walk up, he takes the piece of paper that he's got. He takes it and kind of, you wouldn't even say that he folds it up. He kind of crumples it up and then just like sticks it inside his jacket.
I'm telling you, dude, he's off his rocker.
As you guys get in, he sees you. He's like, oh, okay. You called? Do you have an update?
And he's like, damn, son, looks like you've been rode hard and put up wet. What the hell happened to you?
I just been busy. I've just been busy. What? I got a communique.
You get our uniforms?
I have to work that. But I was told that you had an update.
And videotapes? We needed surveillance material, man.
I mean, I can get that stuff for you, but it's gonna take time.
God, who did we talk to? Which idiot was making a sandwich order while we were talking to him?
Look, people gotta eat, okay?
Are you gonna eat that?
You're gonna cover for this asshole, huh? I see how
people gotta eat. Are you gonna eat that?
And then he just goes and grabs the roast beef sandwich and starts eating it.
It's cold.
Ooh.
It's like he's literally got an entire move. He's got an entire sandwich. He's got an entire meal with the curly fries and everything, and it's all sitting in front of it, and none of it's been touched.
You go with the horsey sauce or the 3-pepper?
I'm a horsey guy. It doesn't matter.
I'll take you for a horsey guy.
Horsey man.
Horsey boy.
Man. He's a horsey boy. That don't sound right.
Oh my god, we get distracted so easily.
Agent, I mean, we would be more than happy to share the information we gathered, but I feel like it'd be a bit premature without the items we thought we were getting here to make sure this information is sound for running it up the chain.
We can I can get the stuff you need. I can get the surveillance equipment, no problem. I mean, the janitor's stuff, it's hard because they don't actually have janitors. They just have the orderlies do it, and I don't know if dressing you up as orderlies and having you show up is the way to do it. I mean, I just don't know.
I mean, that was just a suggestion. C-shift security. I mean, there's got to be security there outside of the orderlies.
I mean,
what about a fumigation crew? What if they had bed bugs and go in and take care of business?
I mean, that's not bad. But again, I mean, they already know what you look like. I can try to work. I can try to work something, but no promises on how good these disguises will be. I mean, it'll be based mainly on what you guys can pull off.
Well, why are you? Why do you want these updates so? Why are you so keen on getting updates from us?
Is that the sound of Benedict eating a roast beef sandwich while he's talking?
Why are you so intent? We don't have any information for you yet. Why do you need these updates? We'll tell you when we're ready. God damn it.
You're like waggling the sandwich at him.
Benedict is grumpy today.
He's like, I need this because I need to be able to justify why I'm getting you this equipment and why it's worth the risk. You think
your boy's been compromised?
Exeter.
What?
Dallin, he's been compromised.
What do you mean compromised?
That friendly? He's contaminated by whatever the hell's going on in that building. We don't know what it is yet, but we've seen it before, and he's right in the thick of it.
What? He can't be compromised.
Well,
why is that?
I'm telling you, he is.
Then you're not telling us something.
No, I'm telling you everything I have for you. He seems really agitated, and he's like, I need to go.
Hold up. Hank gets up and sits on the seat side of the table where he's sitting next to him.
Well, one of you would have already been probably on that side of him because it's like, it's a booth.
Can we just say Hank's sitting there?
Yeah, sure.
He says, "Are you all right, man? You look ill."
I'm fine. I need to go run this up the chain. If you say that, Dallin, I might be able to use that to get the equipment you need. That might be enough.
Hank's gonna try to. Sorry,
No, go ahead.
You just what? He wants to try to stealth whatever that crumpled paper was in his pocket.
Ooh.
Oh man, you guys are doing it again.
You got a great track record so far.
Yeah, you do. All right, so give me a stealth
Well, the
roll.
only reason I'm not just doing this just to be... I'm really on the fence whether Exeter is compromised.
That's cool.
And if we get this piece of paper and it says some crazy shit on it, we can very well say that he's just as bad off as Dr. Dallin.
I support this action.
Super cool.
This is not just like some trying to do some bullshit for the sake of bullshit.
Benedict sees what he's doing, and he tries to create a fuss. So he looks at Hank, and he sees him kind of going for that, and then he spills the roast beef sandwich on the table, and the sauce goes everywhere.
No, not the horsey sauce.
Oh, what is that?
A lot of sauce.
It's all on your hands. Oh.
Does Hank get a modifier for that?
Hank a bit of a one-up.
I'll give you a plus 20 for the
plus 20 beef mod.
Plus 20 beef juice.
Get that beef.
Success.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. You were able to as this happens and you spill what you believe to be a Sierra mist across the across the table.
What you believe?
It's definitely not Sprite. You know that for sure. You spill his soda, and the horsey sauce goes everywhere, and he kind of jumps up, and as he does, one of these papers falls out of not the place where he had put it in his breast pocket, in his jacket, but it falls out of one of his other pockets. And Hank, you very surreptitiously just grab it and shove it in your own pocket real quick.
Okay.
And he's just he grabs a bunch of napkins. He's dabbing at his pants and stuff. He's like, I'm gonna go run this up the chain. You guys are staying at the Ritz-Carlton, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Here you go.
Yeah, I'll send you a courier.
What
see if I can get that
roll? What did I roll on Dallin to discover that he was under the influence of something unnatural?
I thought it was psychology, or was it human?
I don't know. It was human.
I want to roll the same thing on Exeter.
Okay, give me a human again. Let's see what you got.
Unit.
Tell me what you get.
That would be a
success.
Success 56 under 72.
All right. Whatever is going on with him, you get the feeling that he is probably like he has huge bags under his eyes. His face is kind of like gaunt, and like you remember too that like you guys have walked up, he hadn't eaten a bite of this sandwich. He looks like he hasn't eaten in days and days and days, and probably hasn't slept for days and days and days. Something's definitely weird here. I mean, you think, Benji, you immediately are, oh, maybe he's on drugs or something, but I don't know. And he's trying to leave now. He's like cleaning off his pants, like I'm gonna go. I'm gonna talk to. I'm gonna see if I can get you guys this cameras, the surveillance equipment, and everything. And that's I'm gonna try to get that from you. You'll probably hear from me soon.
Try to get some rest, Exeter.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. And he walks out.
Okay. So nothing unnatural. He's just
well, I mean, I guess you from that human you deduced that it's basically from lack of sleep and lack of eat, not just that's specifically what it is. All right, Hank, he takes the piece of paper and lays it on the table in front of everybody.
What does it say? What does it say?
Have you seen it?
Have you seen it?
If it says that shit, then we know he's compromised.
Yeah.
He says, I took this off of his jacket when the...
Damn, Hank, nice work. I didn't even clock that.
Well,
I saw what you were doing.
I do have the horsey sauce to thank. It wasn't just me, but
no horsey sauce. Let's see.
Anyway, and then he unfolds it, puts it in front of everybody.
You see, it looks to be like a scrap of legal pad. That it's stained and it too smells. It smells like someone who is it smells like sweat and grossness. And as you pick it up, it's actually kind of oily. It feels like it might have actually sweat on it. And the pen ink is kind of stained and runny. And you see a line of text on it, written out by hand. And it's part of it's are smudged, and it's a scrap of paper. It looks like it's been torn off of something larger. And it says, "Black stars hang in the heavens, where the shadows of men's thoughts lengthen in the afternoon, where the twin suns sink into the lake of Hali, and my mind will bear forever the memory of the pallid mask."
Oh, God.
It doesn't look good, man.
Read the book.
It doesn't look good, guys. There are two things that are immediately obvious to you. One, Hank, with your experience in, and some of the stuff that you've dealt with, the invitation that you guys received is written in the same hand.
He wrote the invitation.
Two, Benji, you know where this is from, without a shadow of a doubt. It's a book read a few years ago. A little book bound in red leather with a symbol on the front of it. A play called The King in Yellow.
Nice.
And my friends, that's actually a really good place for us to go ahead and cut this episode.
And success. We've figured out something.
Winning at this right now.
You guys are winning. You realize that your allies are no longer your allies. Some would call that a win. You're winning in a way.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, listen,
that
guys.
was awesome.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for those watching the stream. Thank you for those who are watching the VODs. And thank you for those listening to the podcast for joining Greenbox Gaming. If you like what you hear and you're interested in catching these episodes a week early, man, come on over to the Patreon. We're over at... what are we at? We're at patreon.com/greenboxgaming_. Consider supporting us, just so we can continue to make a good product and get some better assets and whatnot. Come over to our Reddit or to our Twitter or wherever. Our Reddit is r/greenboxgaming. Let us know you're listening. Let us know where you're from. I know we recently heard from, some folks from abroad, and we'd love to know who all is listening. And thank you guys, you three jokers.
Thank you, Joe.
No, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Can't spell Joker without Joe.
Wow. You know what? You got me. And on that bombshell, thank you everyone for watching. For those of you who are watching the stream, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break. And for those listening or watching the VODs, man, join us next time for the next episode. And we will see you later. Bye.
Later.
Bye.